The CEO trembled as he lifted the white cloth covering his wife. He could hardly believe it. Yesterday, the wife he had cruelly mistreated was still alive, but today she lay cold and lifeless. Overcome with grief, the CEO desperately shook her, but the woman on the bed would never respond again. Just then, a nurse rushed in carrying the baby that his wife had exchanged her life for. As the CEO stood there in shock, his assistant delivered a paternity test. Only then did he realize that the test results he had received before had been swapped. The child in his wife's womb had always been his. But it was too late. The false words of the new manager had cost him the life of the woman he loved most. The CEO never imagined that 6 years later, the wife he thought dead would suddenly appear in his company. Throwing everything aside, he rushed forward and embraced the woman tightly. But the young woman in his arms struggled frantically. The CEO only held tighter, terrified that in the next second she would vanish again. Finally, the assistant reminded him that this girl was actually a new employee, only 26 years old, 10 years younger than his late wife. Realizing he had mistaken her identity, the CEO reluctantly let go, apologized, and left. The girl thought she would lose her job because of the incident, but to her surprise, the CEO summoned her to the office and asked her to marry him. Shocked, the girl immediately refused, but the CEO interrupted, saying he would cover her gravely ill brother's medical expenses and even give her 100,000 yuan in monthly allowance. Discovering that the CEO had secretly investigated her, the girl was furious and stormed off. However, as soon as she left, the hospital called, demanding she pay 1 million yuan in medical bills that very day, or her brother would be thrown out. Realizing she had no way to raise such a huge sum, she thought of the CEO's proposal and reluctantly went back. The girl could not understand why someone so powerful would choose her. She had no idea that she looked exactly like the CEO's late wife. 6 years ago, deceived by the malicious words of another woman, the CEO had caused the death of the person he loved most. From then on, he lived in endless regret, believing he would spend the rest of his life in grief. But the appearance of this girl changed everything. To fill the void and make amends, the CEO immediately married her. Yet the innocent girl was only curious about one thing, the truth. Drawn by fate, she entered the late wife's room and found a portrait of a woman who looked exactly like her. Before she could take a closer look, the CEO suddenly pulled her away. It turned out the only reason for the marriage was that she bore the same face as his late wife. Her death had been a wound that never healed, a shadow that haunted the CEO's heart. But once the girl learned the truth, what choice would she make?